Princess, thank you for talking to me today. We were just talking about Windrush and the journey people have had over the years between 1948 and 1971. And I think you said you came from St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 1960 and moved straight to London and stayed on the Portobello Road. You mentioned you knew some people who lived there already. Yeah, people from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
No, they're from Carriacou.
And people from Carriacou.
No, they're the people I knew.
Ah, they were from Carriacou.
From Carriacou.
Yes, okay. And then you got a job. You had a job you applied for, but when you came, it was too quick to figure out where it was and how to get there.
I think I came in on Monday, and the interview was on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I was just about a few days in, and I didn't know my left from right, and then so I missed it.
Yes. And also learning the transport.
Yes, right.
Learning
the transport.
Learning how to get bus and train and tube and,
Because in those days, everywhere looked the same.
Mm-hmm. Eyes adjusting to everything. And then you said you applied for another job in Harrow, I think, and you got that one.
I was working in Harrow for a short while.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after that, as a matter of fact, because I got married. I got married quite quickly. And then we moved from where I was to Council Rise. And then we came to Reading, and that's history.
So the families knew each other, but your relationship blossomed in London.
Yeah, well, we meet in that respect.
And then he was working in Reading, you said, yeah. And then you came, once you got married, then you joined him in Reading.
He didn't stay in Reading though, he used to travel down.
Mm-hmm.
But because I had a friend from my island living in Reading, and they said he could stay with them instead of paying money to go down every day to Paddington and things like that. So he stayed here, and then he decided we were trying to buy a house in London.
Yeah.
But whenever you go to put down your deposit, somebody else would offer more, and some would give tip. And he said he's not going down that road. So, and as I say, he was working in Queen's Road.
Right, yeah.
And then he decided to go to an estate agent to look in comparison. So he decided we would stay in Reading.
Yes, yeah. Because the price difference would be
plenty.
Quite a lot.
Plenty. And so when we went to the I don't know which one told him, either the solicitor or the agent, might be the agent. The agent told him because people would take, because he didn't know Reading, he just used to come to work, so they would take him down to the west where everybody were, and the agent, one of them, told him go east, because in time not long before down there would be overcrowded accommodation and things like that. So he said go east, and this house, gave us this house.
Yeah.
So, and then when we went to the solicitor, he was quite sympathetic as well, because he asked the agent, I'm sure it's one of them anyway, asked the agent to discount, and they knock off 300.
Okay.
So nice. So just God was on our side.
Yeah, it really sounds like you were blessed from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They knock off 300.
And now you've been in this house since 1963.
Yeah, 62, 63. We bought it at the end of 62, I think, but we moved in. You buy it and you take a while.
Yes.
You move. So we moved in 63.
Yeah, no, that's quite a stay, isn't it? It's a long time. And I think before we started recording, you were mentioning about leaving St. Vincent and the Grenadines and what you expected, your idea of England before you came, and how you had, pictures of England up around your school and singing songs about the war or supporting England in the war, and how that was for you.
Yeah, when the war started, everybody was I was on edge, because it was Great Britain, it was England, and everybody felt British, because that's what you were called, British West Indies.
Yes.
British West Indian. So on your passport, you were British, and on your passport. So people were very concerned, and people were praying, and even when you go to church, I remember this elderly man, we were praying for England, and the royalty, and you know, we were praying for England all the time because they felt that they were part of the system. Yeah, they're part of the system. And then at school, some I think English people men came to the school, to our school. Just a little school, but he came. And he was talking about Great Britain. You know, the sun never set on the Union Jack, and things like that. And on our wall, the school walls, were pictures of the war, not on the actual war, but the ships and the soldiers marching, and then we used to sing a song. I remember that song good was soldier boy, where are you going? I'm going to a country, the red, white and blue. I'm going to a country where beauty is calling. If you be a soldier boy, you will come too. And we sing that every day.
Wow, it's a recruitment song.
Yeah, but we never thought of that, though. No. Yeah, we never thought of that, no. And it stays in your mind because I remember when the sea was rough and there's reef and the water passing over the reef and it float up in the air. And I used to say, oh, the ships are under there. You know, you think it's the water, you're sure.
Yeah, and that's kids as well.
Yeah, you know. And I went home late from school and my mother said, what have you been? I said, I was watching the war.
Which was the ocean.
The ocean, yeah, the sea was spotting like over the reef.
Yeah,
there's a reef underneath.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So Britain was great, Great Britain, you know. And, yeah.
And then you came, but your experience actually was not, from what you've said, it wasn't a bad experience for yourself.
Well, it wasn't too difficult, no. The only thing when I came, I was sent for a job in, I can't remember the place now, but I had to do a test, it's a mathematics, and there were 20 questions, and I got 18. And she said, I'm sorry, you can't get this job because you're not accurate. So I was sent out packing. Yeah.
Oh dear. Yes, 18 out of 20.
18 out of 20.
And you imagine the person who got the job probably got less than that.
Probably didn't even do the test.
Well, that is quite. But it seems like you moved on. It's like so many people, you just try something different, try again, keep going. So then you moved to Reading, as we were saying, and you mentioned your doctor as well. That you found a doctor here who was really lovely.
He is excellent. He was excellent. He was like a big brother or father. If you are sorry, he shows it. It's, you know what I mean? If you have a disappointment, he sympathized with you. He was excellent.
And then you had a bit longer at the doctor's. You had time, a bit more time back then.
Years and years and years until he retired. And even after retiring and you meet him in the street, he stop you and say, how was the family?
Yes.
And I thought, how was the family? He passed away now.
And he would have seen you through, how many kids have you got?
3.
So he would have been your doctor through those having those kids.
He said to me, I met him one day, he said, the Lord has blessed you. He was Catholic.
Right.
And Irish.
Yes.
And he said, the Lord has blessed you with 3 beautiful children.
Oh.
And I thought that was quite family-like, really.
Yes.
As they say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So housing was fine, doctor was fine, and then working in Reading when you moved here, how was it to get a job?
It wasn't difficult. Yeah, because normally what would happen, somebody would hear for a job and that's how it used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't difficult.
Word of mouth. And because you knew, between the two of you, you knew some people from Carriacou and some people from the Grenadines.
Yeah, because the people from Carriacou, they were in London.
Okay.
So I think we were the first Carriacou people. Not well, my husband.
Yes.
And then the entire family moved on.
Okay, right. Yes.
Yeah, so that was and Reading was a quiet place. Quiet place.
Yeah.
You know, very quiet.
Yeah. was still quiet when I came, and that's
Mm.
like 30-something years later. So, but you said you worked at the hospital, is that right? Yeah.
In this road, the neighbors, they were very nice. Then they were not loud, quiet.
Yeah.
But when they retire, they went to the Lake District or something. But we'll get regular cards from them. When the husband's sick, when he passed.
Yeah.
And after that, I haven't heard from Martha, and I thought, well, oh dear, she probably passed.
Yeah.
The one next day, she was quiet too. Yeah.
So it worked out coming to a place where you didn't
that's right.
know necessarily any. You were like the first in the road.
So then that neighbor used to say to me, when your children grow up, no, what you said to me? She said, oh, they have a Reading accent or Berkshire accent. They didn't need. Oh, don't let them have that accent. I can't remember the story now, but she think. I don't know what the difference between a Reading accent and a Berkshire accent. But one of them she didn't want him to have.
Okay, right, yeah.
Well, we never moved anyway, so they have to have it.
Yes. The accent is where you're living, isn't it? So you have 3 children. I know the girl, and is there? What are the other 2? Are they?
2 boys.
2 boys. Okay. So is she the eldest?
No, the second.
She's the middle child, right? Okay. So 2 boys and a girl. And did you? I guess they all went to school in Reading. Yes. How was that for them? Or you?
It was okay.
Going to the school gate.
Oh, regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did okay.
Yes. Did you have to fight battles for them?
Yeah. Well, I think how to say it really. Yeah. So, but you have to show your face. And if there's a problem, and you go through the books and if you didn't like what you see, you turn up at the school. They didn't have a problem with that really.
No.
I remember before so everybody, all the black people who were there before me say, try and let them learn the alphabet before they go to school. But I didn't want to do that because I remember I knew my alphabet before I went to school. But when I went to school, they were using what they call phonics, something like, I was saying A, B, C, and they were saying Abaka.
Yes.
So I didn't want to teach them. But when I discovered they were doing it, I remember teaching, could teach them some of it. But for I, the letter I, we used to say, my hat fell off. And he came home one day, Mommy, it's not your hat fell off. I lost my hat. Well, to me, I think it fell off because you can see it. And then, it was okay. They're getting well with the children around. We never had a problem with not a single parent. No, we never had a problem.
Yeah. So
if there's a problem, I'll go to school.
Yes. So you were the one who did that, not your husband. You were.
He works. Yeah.
He was working. Yeah. So it sounds like you're saying you kept a close eye on things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that was where they kind of made it through. Yeah. And was that Alfred Sutton? Because that was a primary and a secondary.
Yeah, no, they didn't go to the primary. Because after a while, the primary was closing down, so I wanted to go to the primary, but I went to, those days, there's the education department used to be somewhere. So I wrote a letter to them.
Right.
And I went in and see them, and they said to me, well, okay, write a letter, but do not say the school is no good because it's our school. So I've been telling everybody, write the letter and I said, don't say the school is terrible because it's their school.
Yes.
We got what we want anyway. So.
Okay, yeah. So where did they go to school in the end?
Well, one went to Kendrick, Maidenally.
Okay, so that's for the secondary. So they did the primary.
All the primaries right here.
Yes.
We were fortunate really because the library is walking distance.
Yes.
The park, in those days, a lot of things, a lot of things for the children to play in those days. It was just there. And the school, everything was walking distance.
Yeah. So that was really nice for them, and I guess they would have known a lot of other kids around and things. Yeah.
It was a friendly area in the end later, because at the beginning, of course, you don't know anyone, so you're quite alone at a time. But once you start going out and mixing, the parents, or the children. The children, the English children, parents would bring the English children, and I take mine. It worked out well, really.
Yes, yeah. So you were included in what was going on.
And I was we used to have something they called PTA, Parents Teachers Association.
Yes, yeah. So did you sit on that? You were on that as well? Yeah. So really taking an active role, and you were there for the kids, and you were the one to be called on. And have they got kids now? Your grandparents?
They've got,
Yeah. So how many grandchildren do you now have? 3. Okay, so that's good. So so that's great. And of course you had to find a church as well, because that would have been a new thing when you moved.
That's right. Because most people you ask for the church, they don't know it. And one day I was visiting my friend, and a leaflet came through the door, and it was for a campaign meeting at the church. And it says, I think this is Tyler's Road. And I didn't know what Tyler's Road. I thought I heard of Tyler's, but I didn't know Tyler's Road. So on the bus, it was a black driver. And I said to him, could you let me know when we reach Tyler's? He said, okay. He said, where in Tyler's do you want to go? And I said, to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And he said, oh, no, that's not Tyler's. I said, that's Tyler's Road. So he said, I'll tell you when to get off.
Yeah.
So when we reached, there was a cinema at the bottom.
Right.
She said, get off here and go up the hill, turn right. Because I didn't know.
No.
I went all the way in Tyler's for nothing. I wouldn't know what I'm looking for.
Just as well you asked, eh? That's good. And have you stayed at that church?
To now, still there.
Right, because there are quite a few Adventist churches around now.
That was the only one at the beginning.
Right.
And then overcrowded in the end, so you got to make branches.
Yes, So as it gets bigger, people go off and start another one. Yeah. Wow. And what about the rest of the Caribbean community in Reading when you came, and was there connection? I know some people, you're not a partying type, but what? So you were in Reading, and you found that you had the family, the house, the school all sorted, and the church. And so I was just asking, about the social kind of how other people from the Caribbean here, and also just being in Reading and kind of life outside of church and family.
Yeah. Well, there were quite a weddings and baby blessings in those days. So you see people almost every week. You meet new people.
Yeah.
And then you make friends. So everybody have their friends. Friends. Some friends live here and there. It was close.
Yes. So quite a social calendar, but also a community that was active and doing things.
Right.
So no house parties for you, though?
No, I didn't go to house parties. I never went to house parties. Except baby blessing, christening as other people. We say baby blessing, but other religions say christening. Yeah.
So, and were you able to go back and forth, go back to the Caribbean?
Yeah.
So, and would you go to his island or your island or both?
I visit his island.
You visit?
Because you're next door.
Yeah, it's only a small plane ride, one of the little planes.
Plane? No, you go by them. They have plane now, but in them days, it's just boats.
Okay, yes, And were you able to take the kids when they were growing up and stuff? Yeah, so lots of back and forth. And how has that been for you, going back and seeing it and coming again? And
all right, really. Yeah, no problem. When you go home, everybody excited. They come to see you, and they'll bring you things like fruits and whatever there is. That's the norm, really.
Yeah,
that's always been for generations.
Yes. And you would have brought stuff for them,
exactly.
So it's an exchange.
That's how it is.
Yeah. When did you last visit then?
99.
Okay, so not so long now. And I know your husband passed recently, so that's changed things a little bit. And is he buried in Reading? Or? Yeah. Okay. So what does that mean for you now? Are you ever going to travel back there again, or are you?
Yeah, well, depends really. Yes, I would go back. Yeah, no problem there.
So you would make another trip there?
Yeah, God's willing.
And how do you look back at your time in, this Windrush generation and being in Reading and the impact they've had, or, how do you?
Yeah, I have no regrets. No regrets. And didn't have any problem either.
So you've had what you said earlier, I think the doctor said that you've been blessed, and it sounds as though you've had a blessed life, with good choices and people around you who care about you. Anything to pass on to the next generation who may or may not listen to this?
Oh, well, just place God in your life, really. Because once you accept Him and you know Him, your reasoning is different. You don't going. You're just different. Your reasoning is different. And you live a peaceful life, and you want to do the same with your neighbors, your friends, or whoever you meet in the streets. So,
yeah,
that's it.
Here's to a peaceful life. Thank you so much, Princess, for your time.